Oh, everything looks really good. We'll just have to see. I don't know. Oh man. So I am exhausted. I'm not just tired, I'm exhausted. I ended up getting the starter on. It took me about, I don't know, about 3 hours, and it was really tough because the exhaust is right in front of where the starter is, so you can't actually get the whole starter in there without taking the exhaust. But I know if I take that off, it's a two-man job. It will be really hard to get back on. However, if you take the starter apart, you take the engine, the little motor off, and you can get both parts off. Originally I had taken the motor off and then the second part, and then brought it to the shop. So put the part in, and then the motor with the screws, and that was really tough. So really tough work, and that was after doing waterproofing for about 4 hours. So 4 hours of waterproofing. I found the hole and I blocked it up, put some body filler, you know, carbon fiber, painted and everything. So I'm gonna let it dry. I was gonna start it today because I got really excited because it is put together, but the gas pedal's not on yet, so it's just too dark right now. So I think what I'll do tomorrow is we'll water test. We'll actually do that on camera, and after we do the water test, we'll actually put the pedal on, and then we'll see if we can get it started. I think that'd be pretty cool. So that was a good day. I'm not really a gloves guy, but definitely didn't plan buying these Duramax gloves. These kind of gloves, they're not the nicest thing in the world, but I don't even know where I got them from. But it's pretty good when you're really in there. Like my arms have, I don't know if you can see, I got a whole bunch of scrapes and damage and whatnot, but these gloves really help. So I had to take them off quite a few times for, you know, putting screws on and bolts and whatnot, but you know, otherwise it was really good. You can actually see just how dirty I am. I actually went for a walk with my fiance a few minutes ago before that, so that was people were just looking at me. So we'll turn it on tomorrow and see how it goes. So if you look in there, you can see I kind of sprayed it down. I'm going to be doing some more work there soon, but first I want to make sure there's no leaks, so we're going to put some water in. Hey, first time ever, it's dry. Oh my god, I'm so happy right now. This is awesome. Now, before we start this thing up, I actually have the battery charging. It was completely dead, so I need a few more minutes. I don't want it full charge because it would only start at 100% before. At 95%, it wouldn't start. So that's the challenge. So in the meantime, let's do a full jug just to really make sure this works. But I'm pretty pleased that even if there's a bit of a leak, that won't be too bad because that was a lot of water I put down there. Not a drip. Perfect. Okay. Our battery's still only at 25%. I probably should have charged this earlier. So I can't get it going just yet, but there's a few things I did want to mention. Plus there's a guy pressure washing just as I'm about to start, so it's usually the way it works in the film industry. So what we're going to do is just talk about a few things. First thing is the battery. It's a deep cycle truck battery. Usually got 2 of them underneath each seat in the back there. And so we're just charging it once again. It's going to get it. I really want to get up to like 60%, as I mentioned earlier. But before I even start anything, I want to just mention I'm super nervous about this starting, because the problem with the starter is I didn't just take the starter and put it in. You have to take it apart. So I didn't get this on camera, but when I was putting the actual starter motor on, it all fell apart. The back came off and everything just kind of came out. So I assembled everything best I can, put the gaskets back in, but I'm a little worried that I may have done that wrong, and putting that thing in there was really difficult. So it was just tough. So I'm praying to God it starts, because that was so much work. If it doesn't start, I have to remove the entire exhaust system, which is super difficult to do and super hard to take out of there because everything's just jimmy rigged in there. And the compression is so intense that I could tell as soon as you take it off, it's gonna be almost impossible to put it in there without 2 people. It's not even screwed in all the way because that's how strong it is. So I did loosen the exhaust a bit so I can get it in there, but we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna wait a bit and then we're gonna try it out and pray with me that it starts, because I need this thing, you know. One of the main reasons I'm doing this is because 2.5 months from now I'm getting married to my fiance of almost 6 years. It's gonna be 5.5 day of the wedding. And basically, I really wanted to bring that truck and a part of my old life in there and get a picture with everybody and the groomsmen and the bridesmaids and all that. So I think it'd be really, really cool. It's a really, really important, special part of my life. Plus my dad's going to be there, who doesn't live in Canada, so it's going to be cool having him there with the truck and everything. So he's going to be helping me out later on with some of the stuff. I'm going to stop talking now, get this thing ready, and next thing you see, we're going to be trying it out. Let's hope it works. Change of plans. We're trying it at 25%. I got a break right now, and the reason I want to try it at such a low charge is, one, is because I'm impatient. That's my main reason. I want to try it out. I just want to see if it turns, and two, if it turns on at 25%, that means it'll turn on anything. So we will see. I'm just going to clean up the terminals a bit and then connect this, and we'll be ready to go. If they're dirty like this, they won't start. So make sure you clean them up. Keys, safety. Pray to God I don't have to use this. Fail. I think the battery needs more charge. We'll try again. I know what you're thinking. Talk about fail. Yes and no, actually. I was a little overzealous, I was a little over ambitious trying at 25%. For a truck engine like that, having the battery that low, that's just not a good idea. But the good news is it actually turned. And the starter worked, which means the starter's not dead. Happy about that. It does sound a little different though. It sounds, I don't know, it sounds odd. When the starter was off, I had shoved a rag in there in that engine compartment for a long time. And I did all those water tests, and I hope water didn't get in there. Maybe it did, I don't know. We're just gonna have to find out. Anyways, we're gonna try again. This time, we're going to take it up to at least 75%, and we're going to try this right, and hopefully, the stupid thing turns on. Now, no luck yesterday, we'll try it today again. That's awesome. Alright, so it's been a little while since we started up the Jeep. I've been quite busy, unfortunately, with work and whatnot, so I haven't had time to really film anything or go through it, and I just have very little time when it comes to these kind of things. So evenings and weekends once in a while, and that's pretty much it. So I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I kind of wanted to show you what I'm going to do for the next little while. We'll go through that. First thing is plastic pieces in the interior. If you look at something like this, which looks pretty much horrible, a lot of people would just throw this away and find something new. And I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to salvage them, because these are the same plastic pieces from the sidewalls where the belts go, the seat belts. So I've managed to do that, and for the dashboard parts, save that as well. So keep the trash out of the dumps and just salvage some of this stuff, and it saves you money in the end too. So all I'm doing is I'm just basically priming with a sandable primer. I'm not actually sanding, that's what it is. And then painting with a semi-gloss truck finish paint, and that's it. Putting it back in. That is pretty much it for that. And inside the car, I bought this rust preventative paint. It's called POR15. It's $70 a can, so I hope it's good. And maybe it's a little too late, but I'm painted the front driver's where your feet go basically, so that it doesn't rust again, because I really don't want any rust there again. And I'm going to do the same thing on the passenger side, and then we're going to put the soundproofing and the finishing and whatnot. So I'll show some of those steps, and we're basically going to go from there. So now we're really into finishing the car. So it works now, so now let's get it more functional and finish up pieces and see how it goes from there. So we're going to be doing some interior work, but before we do that, let's just start it one more time just to make sure it's working. I think that's good. Just gonna do one layer. Just one's good enough, I think. So that's to do two. I already got a lot of paint in here, so this is just bonus. Hopefully I'm not an idiot for buying this kind of paint. Let's see. Alright, that's it for now. We're gonna go to the other side, do some soundproofing. Soundproofing. I'm just gonna be using this pad here that I mentioned in the earlier videos. Has an adhesive, sticks right on, super sticky. I'm wearing gloves because when this crap gets on your hands, you can't actually take it off for a couple days unless you use a bar saw. Don't wanna do that. Yeah, put a big sheet in like that. Something like that. Doesn't have to be perfect. Here we go. Once this is down, you will not get it off without ripping it apart. So make sure it's where you want it to be. And then I'll just cut around the cable, and that's it. So this is the sheet, as you saw me just put in. It's like a giant sticker, right? It goes on. So I'm just gonna cut to fit the rest with these tiny scissors. Look, my girlfriend always steals my scissors. I don't know why. So she took my big ones and she left me these tiny scissors. Like, that's just hilarious that I gotta cut this with that. All right, let's get to work. All right, let's see how this works. Huh, I know it's gonna work. Worked on everything else. What? Why don't I work on this, right? The only thing I'm not sure of is this component here. This is like it's almost like a leather skin, but it looks horrible as it is, so I got nothing to lose. Yeah, that kind of works. I think with this kind of spray paint, getting the primer on, it's not about getting it to look perfect. It's just about covering it. It doesn't have to be perfect, so that when you put your paint on, it'll adhere better. I've noticed sometimes if there's something like a chemical on somewhere on the plastic and you don't prime it, the paint will come off. At least that's happened to me once or twice. I think that's good. We'll just run the whole thing through and go from there. So there we have it. The soundproofing is in. Doesn't look beautiful? Doesn't matter, we're gonna put that mat back in, but before we do that, we're gonna second coat our plastic. 1 week ago, I could still see my breath. That's how cold it was. And now it's like, feels like Arizona plus a whole bunch of humidity. You know, we don't get that dry heat like you guys do in the States. Down south, we get that humidity, it's just brutal. So it just feels like you're soaked the whole time, because you are. It's like jumping in a pool and going to work. It's awesome. Anyways, time to paint this. This is semi-gloss. We're not using high gloss because it's just a little too crazy, but semi-gloss gives a nice little finish. It's not matte, it's not satin. This is Duplicolor truck paint. I use it on the outside too. It's really good stuff. Works on everything, so let's go at it. I'm just gonna keep working on this. I got my contact cement. I got my piece of rubber back in. I'm just gonna put it back in, glue it all. And next time you see that, that's gonna be all done. See you next time.